I like to call Hunter Biden the weak link. I like to call Hunter Biden the weak link. Because as much as we like or dislike what Biden is doing or whatever the agenda is that they're carrying out, we can't not say that Biden has not been one of the greatest politicians of all time. Now, I know a lot of y'all may disagree with that because you're going to say, well, no, we don't like Biden because he leaves the borders open and inflation and all of that. When I say he's one of the greatest politicians of all time, I'm saying that his ability to be a chameleon through the decades of him being a politician and still remaining relevant all the way up into becoming the president of the United States of America, despite the things that he's done, despite the different positions that he's taken over the years, is remarkable. But that one thorn that continues to be in his side is that son. You know who he is. We all usually have him in our family. It's that can't get right. You know what he gonna be like when he come over to the dinner table. You know what's gonna happen. You just know that when you invite him over somehow, some way, the bathroom is gonna be blew up, right? He gonna be reaching into the chicken before they say prayers. The ladies is gonna be wanting to get a little bit more closed-legged when he walk over. You know, he might come in high. It's a possibility that he might have a new chick over there and the new chick might be a prostitute when they walk in. That's the guy that we see in our family. And this is what I keep telling y'all. These people are the real people in real life. This is no different than everyday people. The only difference is that they have a higher position. But family is family and people are people and friends are friends. When I see Hunter Biden and I see his edges, the edge thief is getting that man, right? He got some thinning at the top. He don't want to let it go, right? When I see a man smile like that, but they got their veneers, their porcelain veneers is still semi-white, I could tell a fiend when I see one. I could tell it by the way that they hold their coat. When they walk in like this and they say, ooh, you got something for me? That's fiend behavior. Now, it don't matter if you the son of the president of the United States of America or you the son of a chick that just left you out for the streets. That's fiend behavior. The way that he hold his coat, the way that he comb over his hair, how he have his teeth when it get cold outside. There's things that you just inherently pick up as you live life, and you can spot a thing. The same way that you can spot a chick for the streets. You ain't got to ask her how many bodies she had. Now, that is a question that I think that we need to discuss on the internet. But in a general sense, I know a fiend when I see one. You can't trick me. You can't dress it up. You can't maneuver it. You can't put the hair over. I know a fiend when I see one. And it don't matter if you're black or it matter if you're white. When you look at this picture, when you look at this photo of this man right now, when he what, y'all gonna have to see my stand-up special that I'm working on. I know, listen, I'm telling you, this is real life. I got a stand-up special that I think I'm going to do. I might do a whole new channel. Look, Anton, I'm about to have a 10th channel. I might do a whole new channel so I can do my stand-up special. But I know a fiend when I see it. Look, the edge thief got him. My ladies know what I'm talking about. Y'all seen them chicks with them edges, them 8-out edges? The edge thief has already attacked him. And guess what the FBI did a recent investigation on and found when they started going through all of the evidence? Guess what the FBI decided that they wanted to discover? Well, I don't have to say it. Take a look for yourself.
So another blow to the president's son. It's okay. Federal prosecutors say they found traces of cocaine on the pouch Hunter Biden used to store his gun. Lucas Thompson is live in Washington. Hey, Lucas.
Hey, Lawrence. Federal prosecutors urging a judge to reject Hunter Biden's efforts to dismiss those gun charges against him, revealing in a new court filing that investigators last year found cocaine residue on the pouch.
Look at that man in his hair. Look at how discombobulated he is when he comes outside. Look at how discombobulated he is. President Biden is fighting for his political future. Now, Hunter Biden Just so happened to be visiting the White House, and then they start to find cocaine. Look at how disheveled this man is. Good God Almighty.
The president's son used to hold his weapon. Here's what's inside those court documents. Quote, an FBI chemist subsequently analyzed the residue and determined that it was cocaine. To be clear, investigators literally found drugs in the pouch where the defendant had kept his gun. Of course, we don't have to remind our viewers of the dangers of using cocaine and firearms together. Special counsel David Weiss's team was responding to a motion to dismiss the charges against the president's son. According to those documents, prosecutors had said there was no evidence to do so. Quote, to support his allegation that the executive branch led by his father, President Biden, and its Justice Department led by the Attorney General appointed by his father, authorized prosecution by the U.S. Attorney and Special Counsel of their choosing for an improper political purpose. Now, here's a reminder of the federal gun charges Hunter faces: making a false statement in the purchase of a firearm, making a false statement related to information required to be kept by a federal firearms licensed dealer, and one count of possession of a firearm by a person who is an unlawful user of or addicted to a controlled substance.
Oh, shoot. hey, that last charge is crazy. I ain't never heard of a charge like that in my entire life. The last charge took the cake. You possession of a firearm by an unlawful user of a of a controlled substance. I ain't even know that was a charge that you could catch. I honest to God did not know that was a charge. Man, if it ain't one thing, it's another. Word to my granny and my dog. When no, it's always one in every family. There's one always trying to take down a family name, trying to mitigate for stuff. Hey, you know I'm famous, right? You know I'm a political, you know I'm the president of the United States of America, right? Please clean your act up. Hunter Biden is over there with a gun and his whitey tighties on with some skates on and a beeper, getting high. And everybody in LA know it. Good God, Hunter. Do it for your family. Do it for your father.
Now, Hunter also faces 3 felony and 6 misdemeanor counts pending against him in California for those alleged tax evasion charges, guys.
And he ain't paying his taxes. Hold on. You can't, dog, you gonna have to pick. Look, we all got a vice in our life. We all got a demon that we be punching down on. Get thee behind me, Satan. But you can't have more than one demon at the same time. That's gang banging. You can't win in that situation. That's a gang fight. You know what I'm saying? That ain't a one-on-one fight no more. That's a gang. That's gang territory. You can't not pay your taxes and have coke charges and be walking around with a pistol with cocaine in the pouch. You're gonna have to pick a struggle, my dog. You gotta pick a struggle. You can't have both, bro.
You know, I'm curious, Lucas. I know the president has said he loves his son, but are the staffers thinking that he's becoming too much a liability right now, especially going into re-election?
Well, there's certainly a lot of critics that say that, Lawrence. I mean, you know, of course, the president's polling at the lowest level of any president running for re-election in really presidential polling history that started at the end of World War II. And this is just another part of that, I think, for many voters that leads to that conclusion.
Yeah. It's just so interesting. You got a party that is anti-gun, wants more laws for it, and then you got someone doing a hard drug with the possession of a gun. Crazy stuff. Thanks so much, Lucas. Exactly.
Listen. Connie says she feels bad for him. Don't do it. Because, Connie, you're an enabler. You're an enabler, Connie. Okay? That man needs to hit his rock bottom. He needs to be sitting it, honestly, and I don't wish it on nobody. I will never, ever wish 2 things, actually 3 things. I will never wish death on somebody. Well, there are some people that probably don't need to be here, but I wouldn't wish it on them. That's not my place to decide. I would never wish prison on somebody. Well, There are some people that need to be in jail, but I don't advocate for people to just go to jail in a general sense. And I don't wish for anybody to lose their job. Well, I mean, if you're doing inappropriate things, but I still think you need to be able to take care of your family financially, and you still need to be able to earn. So as long as you're willing to work, do it the right way, we can figure that out. But here's the thing. Some people, and this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand, you got to hit your bottom. And sometimes your bottom is being forced to get sober inside of that jail cell, 23-hour lockdown, and you don't have no access because you got to sit there with yourself. And because most people still have the ability and the access, especially when you have money and resources, you don't never really solve for the problem because you know you can leave. You know you can leave. When you go to rehab, you can leave when you want to. So there is no real growth in that, or there is no real accountability because at any point you can just walk away. But when you forced to deal with it, when it ain't no solutions except for to go for, see, it's a difference when you got options. You can go left, you can go right. But when you ain't got no choice but to go forward because it ain't nowhere else to go, that's when you got to deal with it. Now, when you get up off that ground and you decide to start walking, that's when you're going to start having your growth. That's when you're going to start having that come to Jesus moment. But sometimes you got to deal with people and you have to go all the way down in that hole by yourself and get rid of everything that was on you. Some of us have too many vices, too much access. We got too much social media. That's all on our algorithm. That's why I don't follow a lot of people. If you notice, like if you go to my Instagram, I keep it less than 300 at all times. And if it start to get up and start creeping close to it, I look at my junk and I just so happen to come by it and I'll be like, okay, wait a minute. Let me go back and purge a little bit. It's a lot of stuff that I probably don't. Or when my algorithm started to get a little bit too wild, I go into my YouTube algorithm, I hear it clear, I go through and look at all of the stuff that I'm subscribed to. I get that junk off my algorithm because I don't need to see everything. I don't need to be aware of everything. I need to be clear-headed. I need to be focused. I don't have to worry about temptation because I never put myself in a position to get tempted. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about me having to reject drugs because I'm not going to have nobody around me that offers me drugs. But when you keep putting yourself in that position because you have unlimited access, it will not solve for your problem. So some people need to go through it, and we don't need to be doing God's job to determine whether or not he need to be coddled. We need to let God deal with that man because he's thinning. The edge thief is coming to get him. He's ruining the election chances of his father that don't need to be elected in the first place. He's a weak link for his family. He's a weak link for his family. So shout out to Hunter for the great content. Let me read some of the super chats and then we gonna get there. That's why men need fathers and women need fathers in their life because they need a parent. They need somebody to let them fail in a controlled environment so that when they become older and they become adults, they're not walking around with vices. Y'all coddling y'all kids and they're going to turn them into monsters and they're not going to be able to get over whatever addiction that they have because you're coddling them and you think it's best to protect them instead of letting them go through it. You can solve for that. Some of y'all need a good old-fashioned whooping.